G'day, Chris Showalter here, Program Director for MAPS. I want to talk to you about our exciting new remote live educational opportunities. It's an innovative new educational delivery method combining our MAPS online learning with a live, interactive, virtual classroom via Zoom. You'll be given digital access to all our online course materials, including lecture, PowerPoint, pre-reading, assignments, journal articles, online exams, and all through MAPS' online learning platform. So here's how it works. You go to ozpt.com, click on Courses, click on Remote. You choose which of our two current remote live options we have. The first one is MT1, the blue manual, which is essential peripheral, which is from shoulders through fingers and hip through toes. And that one's 25 hours of pre-approved CE units in 34 states and more counting as we're doing more and more applications around the country. The other one's MT2, the essential peripheral, the essential spinal course, which is cervical, thoracic, lumbar spine, introduction to neurodynamics. That one's 27 hours of pre-approved CEUs. So having chosen your course, you then decide upon the available course dates. And we have two options for you there. The first option is a weekend option, Saturday and Sunday. Roughly 8 till 3:30 on Saturday, 8 to 1:30 on Sunday. So you've got plenty of Sunday left to recreate and spend time with friends and family. The other option is one night a week for a month. So like a Tuesday night for about 3 hours for 4 weeks to go through the material. And that might be a better option for you. It's your choice. You get to choose. When you sign up, you get one of these beautiful, professionally bound course manuals sent directly to you. The idea is that having sent you the course manual before we go to the remote live online, it's an opportunity for you to go through the manual and take a look at the techniques. The techniques are presented in the manual as progressive photographs, including skeletal views, to show you where you're meant to be doing what you're meant to be doing for orthopedic manual therapy. They have extensive descriptions in here, the patient position, your body position, where your left hand is, where your right hand is, how you're generating force, where your movement is occurring, what's your intention. So you have a chance to review this for extensive period before you go to the remote virtual classroom. So the virtual classroom is live through Zoom with plenty of opportunity for interactive questions and answers. It's all the same course content as our standard live in-person course, but it's being done remote live. We're limiting class sizes to make sure it's a quality educational opportunity for you. And at the end of it all, you have an opportunity to print your CEUs from home, all sitting at your desk with your pajama bottoms on. So what will you learn in this course? Obviously, you're going to learn the mechanisms of action of orthopedic manual therapy. You're going to learn the evidence for the effectiveness of orthopedic manual therapy. Clearly, you're going to be introduced to the essential Maitland principles. You'll understand the value of and how to conduct a subjective examination, and the value of and the purpose of the physical examination. You'll see clinical applications, which is evidence supporting the value of the techniques that we're showing you, the conditions that they treat, and how to best incorporate them into your clinical practice. For the MT2 course, you'll also see CAD-VBI, cervical arterial dysfunction and vertebrovascular insufficiency, testing and clinical reasoning with a risk-reward calculation per the 2012 IFOMT framework. And in MT2, there's also an introduction to neurodynamics. So MT2 is 2 hours longer, right? It's 27 hours of CEUs, and MT1 is 25 hours of CEUs. So what will you see? You're going to see every technique in the manual. If we're on page 72 of the manual, you will be watching that technique being performed. And then we'll move to 73 on the manual, and you'll watch that technique being performed. So you'll see every technique in the manual. Active physiologicals, passive physiologicals, passive accessories, combined movements, clearing tests, quadrants, You'll learn when to use them. We'll show you sensitivity and specificities when it's available. There's extensive Q&A on the online portion. It's 3 hours. There's even a real patient case that you can do an evaluation and we'll do a review on. The question is, how are you going to know that you're applying the techniques correctly? I want you to think of it this way. If you decided that you wanted to be a pilot, you could go to your local flight school and you could engage a flight instructor for their professional instruction of you to learn how to fly an aircraft. Flight instructors in my area in New York are about $125 an hour at the moment. You require a minimum 40 hours before you can apply for your license. I used to hold a private pilot license for many years. I no longer do that. It's a very dangerous activity. You could do it that way. You could spend a lot of money. You could have a private instructor take you through everything. Or you could go out and buy Microsoft Flight Simulator and spend hundreds of hours on Flight Simulator learning how aircrafts respond to input to the controls. When you pull the yoke back, when you push it forward, when you turn it left, when you press the rudder pedals. So that's what we're talking about here. We're giving you all the information in an interactive virtual classroom for you to get your feet firmly on the path of performing appropriate orthopedic manual therapy per the Maitland approach. After the class is over, we highly recommend that you attend our one-day skills check lab. So in the skills check lab, if you did an MT1, you'll do the skills check on this on a Saturday. And if you did MT2, you'll do that on a Sunday. And if you did both courses, you could do the skills check on Saturday and the skills check on Sunday. What happens at the skills check? So that's where we have our expert instructors working with you, giving you supervised feedback on your application of psychomotor skills and techniques. You get clarification of the concepts, of the clinical reasoning, of technique selection. You get calibration of R1, the first onset of resistance, R2, maximum resistance the therapist is willing to push. And you get clarification on technique application, how you actually do the technique. And then you get refinement of hypothesis generation and testing, clinical reasoning, technique selection, and variations accordingly. And then, of course, there's live patient assessments in front of the crowd. So that's pretty much it. You have an opportunity to do a ton of stuff online, remote live, in your fluffy slippers, on a Zoom meeting with me, and then you can go and do the skills check lab in a convenient local larger metropolis near you. This is ideal if you live in a very remote part of the country and you can't get to a 2 or 3 day course. You can do a lot of your stuff online and then do the remote skills check. ozpt.com, go to courses, go to remote, take a look. If you have any questions, give us a call at the office, 1-800-828-0738. Go to our website, ozpt.com. Chris Showalter, signing off.